And Daily Ledger contributor Kimberly Dvorak. Kimberly, Judicial Watch, a fabulous organization that appears to be doing what Congress cannot. And the latest is for Fast and Furious, this Vaughn index they've been able to get their hands on. What is the Vaughn index?
Yeah, the Vaughn index is actually a full accounting of what documents are available that are concerning Fast and Furious. We don't get actually to read the actual emails that have Fast and Furious in the subject line, but we know approximately how many emails were sent back and forth, who was involved in the the incident when it occurred back in 2010. So we're actually learning a lot more about who actually was involved in the talking points, who was involved in figuring out where and when these weapons were, or if they'll ever be recovered.
So it's basically, it is what it says, and that is an index, and it's basically headlines, and then we don't have the information underneath all the headlines. So can we connect some dots? For example, Eric Holder, are his fingerprints all over Fast and Furious, or at least on parts of it?
Actually, yeah. There were emails that went back and forth directly with the White House, so that kind of lets us know that the White House was a lot more involved in the Fast and Furious cover-up, if you will, and damage control, as they do with a multitude of scandals. Valerie Jarrett, who's the president's closest advisor, played a big role in this as well, and that's something that we really learned. And I think one of the bigger takeaways from this is the fact that Eric Holder, the president, exempted from executive privilege, and that's something that usually is between the executive officials, the executive privilege, but these were emails that were said to have been between Eric Holder and his wife. However, a number of different people are saying that the emails that went to his mother and his wife were most likely not discussing Fast and Furious between the two, but Eric Holder was most likely using their emails to get out information so he could skirt the public scrutiny as well as the Federal Records Act. And we've seen an abuse of this in the administration previously.
Now, the president has said all along he's had no knowledge of what was going on. Eric Holder, I believe, if I remember correctly, blamed it on the Bush administration as well as lower-level people in the Department of Justice. But if we kind of step back and we look at what you're saying, and if we start connecting the dots from this Vaughn index, it appears that Eric Holder's role in Fast and Furious was much more prominent than what he was revealing.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially with Eric Holder, right after the incident happened, he came out and he claimed that he had never heard of Fast and Furious, and he had no idea what this was all about. However, when you look at back and forth communications, it's very clear that he knew about this, and I mean, there's just no way that this didn't cross his desk. I mean, Americans have to realize that when you're letting weapons walk south of the border to be go into the control of the drug cartels' hands and to be used in other crime scenes, and the absurdity that they thought if they found these weapons on crime scenes, it would lead back to the trail of who the gun smugglers were. In this case, that was absolutely ludicrous. And an operation like that would not, and I underscore not, would not go without the notice of the Attorney General.
Right, and there's also the theory that they put these guns out there to possibly take a shot at, if you will, excuse the pun, the Second Amendment, to say, hey, these kinds of firearms are bad, and look what's happening, and they're American. Who knows really the motivation behind this? And it should be noted that the Bush administration didn't do exactly what they were doing with Fast and Furious, and they ended the program well before the Obama administration took over. But my question is, if President Obama had no knowledge of Fast and Furious, then how can he execute an executive privilege?
Yeah, I mean, there are a number of questions like that, and those are very good questions, and I just think it just doesn't pass the smell test on this. And you're right, the Bush administration did run a program, or start running a program similar, but they canceled that out almost immediately. I actually broke the news on the white paper that was written to President Bush on this, and this was a gal that that reached out to me to cover some of the Fast and Furious information she had, and this information, she said, was provided to the Obama administration as well. So you're looking at in a completely absurd, line that we weren't involved, we didn't know, we read about it in the press like the rest of you, and this is just another in a string of bad mishaps for this administration. And as days, weeks, months, and years pass, we continue to see that these things are building up, and they're using the same tactics in absolutely every scandal. It's something that this administration has a problem with, and unfortunately, previously, when you look back like at the Nixon and the Watergate thing, people went to jail for that. This is a similar situation, and we see nothing like that on the horizon.
This administration just wants to run out the clock, and they're being successful so far. Unfortunately, Agent Brian Terry paid with his life for Fast and Furious.
And also, Jaime Zapata, I want to outline, was killed by a Fast and Furious weapon down in Mexico. So, I mean, these have ended up on crime scenes, murder crime scenes, and they will for some 40 years to come.
And those people shouldn't be forgotten.
No.
Kimberly, thanks. Coming up next...